Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of The Big Question with SnG Comedy. My name is Karan.
I'm Adar.
And I'm not Varun.
Oh, bring back Varun. Damn it, where is Varun? Varun के बिना podcast कैसे हो सकता है? Damn it. चुप. हो सकता है.
Yes, I'm Kautuk, and what are we talking today?
Today we're talking about what is the question? Because we're talking about the CBSE paper leaks.
That's right.
Yeah.
So let's frame
The
a
big question is,
what the fuck happened?
Does your CBSE leak?
Okay, does
your CBSE leak? I want to use that in a bar. Hello, baby.
Oh my god, why would you call it a CBSE?
So let's talk about the context. Obviously,
Yeah.
CBSE papers have leaked. One thing about being an ICSE student as I was, that I don't think ICSE, I can't think of a time where it was leaked during my time. ICSE had been they're very like methodical.
Or at least ICSE is smart enough to not get caught.
Yeah.
That's
but in Maharashtra board,
We used to look up to ISIS.
Yeah.
but leak होता ही नहीं ICSE. अच्छा मेरे स्कूल में जो people actually used to fail.
तेरा कौन सा था? Jamna Bhai.
Jamna Bhai. Okay. By the way, Jamna Bhai, I went to a school called Jamna Bhai Narsi School in Juhu in Bombay. And the board exam, we actually have a notorious record. The first person in my school ever to fail the 10th standard boards ICSE
Was from your batch.
was not from my batch, but was a person that you are all very familiar with.
Then?
Sunny Deol.
Oh!
Sunny Deol was the first person ever.
But it's tough for him to write exams. Dude, 2.5 kilo tera already is stopping you from writing the exam.
वो 16 साल का.
It's like weighted. It's like, have you done like skips with like weights on your hand? And it's,
So my school back in the day.
अच्छा 16 साल का था, so 1.5 kilo. 1.5 kilo का हाथ है.
Listen, if your dad is Dharmender and you know you're going to be like a movie actor,
Yeah.
you know, I wouldn't give a fuck about exams. Like
right.
that's the thing. But we had a lot of celebrity kids in our school, but the paper never got leaked. I'm saying I never heard of the but then I go to.
He must have aced his orals though.
अच्छा पहले तो ICSE में orals भी नहीं है. There's no orals.
Yeah, there isn't.
No. अच्छा you were in which ICSE?
I was
Oral
ICSE.
खाली convent school में होता है.
ICSE.
Oh, I was ICSE, Singhania school, and
You were?
I was in Utpal Sangvi, right next to Jamna.
So SSC.
Yeah, SSC.
So SSC, for those who don't know, who don't live in Maharashtra, it's the local Maharashtra state board.
Yeah.
10th
No, we are
exam.
planning to do like a proper one where all of us like we'll do a podcast with everybody because all of us are different streams.
Yeah.
So we'll plan that out later on. But
you know what
yeah.
SSC stands for, right? Seriously crap. It's true.
What does CBSE stand for?
God knows. Whatever it is, cheating.
So what's happened now? Now you guys are aware it's affected you, probably a lot of your friends. I'm sure there are people out there. Poor parents. You know one thing about
Fuck parents, dude. Poor fucking students. Dudes who have to go back and give a fucking exam because 60 people copied. Like,
I'm sorry, it wasn't
it's
60
great.
people. It was
way more.
It
but
was the papers were leaked on WhatsApp.
Sure, but I'm saying like, here's the thing. If you've done poorly and you get a second chance, fucking praise the Lord. Okay.
ये बेचारा जो share कर रहा था last time, it's a business model. Like Karan had to pay 500 rupees to get the paper. अभी
Yeah.
WhatsApp पे लोग कैसे भी share कर रहे हैं.
Yeah,
so what
man.
is the business model in cheating on
वही
the
तो
paper?
if सब लोग को paper
दोस्ती.
मिल रहा है. नहीं, what dosti? If everybody's getting 99 on 100,
Yeah.
what is the point? The whole point is to give yourself advantage, right?
Yeah, sure. I get.
Now-
which is why you share it with the. Here's what they're saying, right? They're saying it's localized, and one of the weirdest arguments is that they're saying that it's only localized to Delhi and Haryana. Like I think one of the maths.
Yeah,
papers
but
are-
unfortunately, WhatsApp
Is
not,
everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's not localized to Delhi and Haryana. By the way, I was just watching, like, I think a couple days ago, there are pictures of students in Bombay giving each other laddus because they don't have to take the exam again.
Yeah. I'm giving my 12th exam and our practicals are going on. So we have to like solder circuits and shit like that. And sometimes क्या होता है वो एक LED यहाँ पे जलना है, एक LED यहाँ पे जलना है. So when you switch that LED should, so that is your circuit that you have to complete. So now we are doing all that shit. And by chance like circuit नहीं जल रहा था मेरा. तो मेरे दोस्त ने बोला कि अरे fuck. तो I spoke to my friend. वो भी नहीं हो रहा. This guy goes रुक. He goes to the peon and says, ये नहीं चल रहा है. The peon looks at me and goes, एक second रुक. He didn't even want to help me. He knew everything. The peon had taught us, by the way.
Yeah.
The teacher used to sit in the corner. The peon used to take our electronics class.
What?
So now the peon goes to the practical journals which are already corrected. He goes there, tears the circuit and comes and stands in front of it. But so now me and my friend are looking at the circuit going, should we do this? Do we feel unethical about this?
You know what? If you are somebody who, you know, let's say you get the paper leaked and you get 100 and you get into the best colleges, you are going nowhere in life.
Yeah, eventually
You will get found out.
You will be
and
found out.
that's the thing about people don't get that. And it is, you know, like
Yeah,
like,
I would have made a terrible electronic
like
engineer.
I'll give you an example of how we
मैं
cheat.
टीवी ठीक कर रहा होता, मैं और कुछ नहीं करता.
How
Unless throughout your whole life you had the peon just ripping shit out and giving it to you.
like अगर you're starting to be a doctor and the exam leak हो gया and you get 100%.
That's fucking dangerous, isn't it?
Exactly. I don't want to go to that guy.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I
Like imagine you go to that doctor and you go like, doctor, my heart's a problem. एक second ना.
I kind of liked where
Really
Munna Bhai
50
went with that. Ultimately, he can't be a doctor.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah,
of course.
he can be a therapist.
It'd be amazing if.
No, he can't be a therapist also. I don't understand why mental disease is also a fucking problem.
Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah, he can't be a medical doctor. उसको brain का doctor बना.
अरे मामू तेरे को schizophrenia इधर आ जादू की छप्पी देता.
15 बार दे देता हूँ देखो.
Okay, mental disease is definitely a real thing.
Yeah, it's terrible and it's horrendous. And I've got like I know friends who are like visiting therapists and all, and they're fine. This is like.
What do you mean they're fine?
They're fine. Like there's no pressing immediate problem that they have to address. I just go there like once a month. It's just good.
We're attacking exams at the moment. Now, exams is what we have.
Yeah.
Okay. Fortunately, there are pros and cons with it. This is what we have. This is how we test the best versus the worst and versus the average, whatever it is. It's not the ideal system.
Yeah, what would you have instead of this? You have any idea?
Given the population of this country, I don't think there's an alternative.
better.
I think the problem is our syllabus is outdated, our teaching style is outdated, and our teachers are underpaid.
No, and it's not just that, right? It's also like so here's the thing. The other reason you cheat is because you can't afford to lose. Because you have
Yeah.
right, which is
Going back to the Australian cricket team.
Exactly.
You cannot afford to lose, the pressure is on to win, so I will do whatever it takes.
That's right. So you also have to have a system where your parents and everything in your life is not like अगर तू CBSE में हक दिया तो तू life में हक दिया.
But parents
That
ऐसे नहीं है.
can't be. I know.
That's a
You
problem.
know the biggest hypocrisy of parenting in this country is their parents want the children to conform. You wear that uniform, you go to that school and you behave like everybody else, but you be the best at it. They want us to conform and yet stand out. They will not encourage. Imagine if I mean, obviously I'm a man now. If I was a kid and I was like, I want to be a comedian. I know how difficult that would be. Parents would be petrified. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What
Your
career?
ass would be 4 parts instead of 2.
Yeah, like what? Like I remember this conversation. I remember I was a business student.
माँ बैठ के काट रही है उसकी.
Nee, man, I was a business major, okay? And this is after I given my boards, everything. And I called up my dad and I was like, I want to switch majors. And he's like, what do you want to switch to? I was like, I want to switch to philosophy and religion.
Like how you said that.
He looked at I could hear his voice. It was like, And who's going to hire you? And I mean, there's no comeback from that because now I realize that shit, dude, if I had done anything, I would have gone and, you could have done an MBA after doing any degree in America.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's also one thing about the American education system, and this I think you mentioned this. On average, I would say the Indian student in the 9th and 10th and 11th grade is smarter than the American student. But the best of the best
are better.
Are better than ours.
And it's like we don't have. So the thing is that we have really good maintenance people. We don't have innovators.
We have followers.
I've seen some people put so much effort in cheating.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, if you just put this much effort in fucking reading the book, you wouldn't have to come at 6 in the morning and write it on the table. You know what I mean?
हम लोग के कॉलेज में एक टेबल होता था which was behind a pillar.
Yeah.
Like so this is the whole classroom and then there were 3 benches. This is the whole room and then suddenly one beam which
Right.
is like
That was a cheating table.
load bearing beam. हाँ तो वो load bearing beam के पीछे 3 टेबल होते थे.
Oh,
And
man.
people used to come there and like plan it. हम लोग दीवार पे लिख देंगे because
नहीं तुम लोग सब amateurs हो. I'll cheating can be done without leaking papers very easily.
Yeah.
By the way, so you college, I think sophomore year, second year, Indians already had a reputation. Okay, all are doing same subject, computer science. That is and it was. I remember I took one computer science class. It was basic. I think it was COBOL programming. You guys are familiar?
Cobalt, yeah.
Back in the day.
Except in India, it's called cobalt.
No, just COBOL. There's no T.
Cobalt.
No, that's actually.
Oh, that's a color.
That's an element.
That's a color. Yeah, that's fun. Cut.
cobalt is a metal.
No, don't cut it. Put that in there. Leave it.
Cut it.
Anyway,
Cut
so this is what used to happen. Okay.
Cut this whole. Cut it. Cut this.
अबे हट.
बोल ना
So computer program का class है and so I was the first time I was in a class with a bunch of other Indians who are taking this as an additional optional whatever the thing was. So what they used to do was, and I was like, dude, I need to be a part of this. So we would let's say 3 of us are giving the exam as the 4th guy there.
Yeah.
We would all trade papers.
Yeah.
When the teacher would look away or something, your paper would come to me,
Oh
mine would
my
go to
God.
you, and it would come full circle. So what would happen is after every half an hour, if it was a 2-hour exam, every half an hour, 15 minutes, I would get your paper and
Right.
then
And you saw and you were
I would
writing
go through all your
different
answers, and then I would have to now estimate. Okay, I know what his answers are. I know what your answers are. I know what this guy's answers are. What should I do? So this
So
way,
you made it a multiple choice.
correct. I got all the data. I
Wow.
Facebooked it. I got all the data and then made a decision to go. What do I want to do with it? Which actually was a really smart way of going.
I love it when people cheat from other people who know less than them.
That is the problem.
That's
Yeah.
Now that is the problem.
That is a big problem.
The problem was that nobody in this class, out of these 4 people, knew the right
Yeah.
answer.
Right.
So you have 4 wrong answers.
Right.
And now you're trying to figure out which is the
Which is
least,
the least
wrong,
wrong
answer. So in my school in Jamnabai, what used to happen was not for 10th standard kids, but for 9th standard, 8th, and 7th and 6th. There would be a table. 4 people would sit on a table. One would be a 6th standard, one would be 7th, one would be 8th, one would be 9th.
Oh yeah, they used to do that in most schools. It would always be 1 year junior and then you.
Yeah,
And it used to be great for the junior most person. Because they would I used to have, when I was in the 4th, the 5th standard dude used to sit next to me.
Yeah.
And he used to be like, I'll tell you.
No, but I did that for someone. I did that for a celebrity, a wannabe celebrity.
Who is this?
Isha.
Who's
Deol.
Isha? Isha Deol!
Was 1 year junior. She was in my sister's batch.
She passed, no?
वो भी fail नहीं.
वो भी failed.
Wo bhi fail. Oh my god.
But I have to take some responsibility for her failing. Because she was sitting next to me and there were 2 other kids and she had maths. I had Marathi. So,
Wait, and she asked you for answers?
yeah.
And then you were like, Maza hai.
So I finished Marathi. See, it's a 2 hour, 3 hour
हाँ.
thing.
749 divided by 42.
I finished
Pula
my-
Deshpande.
You know how Marathi exam works? It's Marathi literature.
You do realize I'm from SSC and Marathi is my second language in SSC.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I was in 8th and she was in 7th, I think. Marathi, and I was really good at Marathi at that time. I had because it was just I had a thing. I
What
knew-
happened after?
Lost completely. Completely didn't speak it. Anyway, point
Say
being,
something.
The Marathi was in his hair
Maza
and it's
Rao
gone.
Karai.
Oh, this is to get out of cops. I think
Yeah.
that's.
Yeah. Anyway, so I did her. I really like. I was a big nerd, man. I really like maths.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
I like
Deol.
Isha.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And then
Say,
Couldn't care
Okay.
less. Yeah, cute girl, of course. But I didn't.
but
Already,
you weren't like dhoom dhoom.
no, this is way down the road, right? I didn't know who she was. Like you don't know.
It's a Bollywood reference.
No, I get the Dhoom reference. Except you understand that we are in our 30s and this is like 7th standard.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
She's, yeah.
So this is a long time ago.
Very long.
Maybe 20 years ago. Anyway, so I did an exam for her and I think she did really well. But the problem was it was 7th standard, right?
Oh,
But-
it just got worse for her.
And then she couldn't make it past like the higher grades.
I bet she thought of you in the 8th standard. I
No,
bet she
I
was
bet-
like, where is that Marathi boy?
No, I bet she was just thinking, hope somebody else will do the exam for her.
That's also true. Given the circumstances that the kids, the pressure and shit like the kids are under, is it like who would you put the blame on? Would you put?
Why?
Because see,
why
here's
are
the
we
thing.
blaming people.
Of course you have to blame people. Someone has to be accountable for this shit.
I kind of agree with him on that. Like the system is what we have right now. See, I really have a problem with people complaining कि Sweden and Norway का education system इतना अच्छा हम लोग से. हाँ, उन लोग के पास 1000 लोग per
population
square
of Vashi is
kilometer है.
Sweden.
हाँ, correct. So
Also, it does not work because Sweden, it's a different environment.
Yeah,
of course.
You know, you're, I think first of all, our school system is wrong in the way that we don't teach our kids social skills. We don't teach our kids basic life skills. We and also we give
or like even like just I was thinking about this recently, man. Like fucking if they had taught me maths that had applicable use.
boom.
Yeah.
Okay, again, and this
Fuck,
has got nothing
it
to do
would
with
have sorted my life.
But I'll never forget this instance. My first calculus class. Sitting there with a professor, he's an Australian guy, really cool guy. He used to come to class wearing Led Zeppelin t-shirts, had long hair, and he would love talking about cricket. So for me, he was like a legit, like proper professor, like loved him. And there was this Pakistani girl, and it was calculus, Calc 100 class, the basic calc. And he was showing us a graph of how the derivative of x square is equal to 2x. What that means? Why is the derivative of x square equal to 2x? Right?
I still don't know why. I know it is. I don't know why.
Exactly. But the
What?
point was this Pakistani girl who had the same education system as us puts her hand up and she's like, why are you teaching us this?
Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you? Like, legitimately putting him on the spot saying, we know the answer. Can we move on to the next thing? And there were like 30 people in the class and everybody's just looking around each other. And he's like, he puts his chalk down and he's like, this is why. And he explains to us this is not about knowing the answer. It's about how to apply it. And so what he would do in his exams is he would do something called calculus. He would say there's a cow and the cow is tied with its neck to a pole. And now figure out using calculus the grazing areas, different cows in different grazing areas. And suddenly my mind, within 3 months of being there was like, wow, I have just done HSC calculus, really hard calculus, and I've got 90 on 100, and I don't know shit.
Correct.
That was an eye opener.
Who is responsible for this thing? If you have to really pin someone down.
See, who's responsible?
Is it the dude who's leaking it? Is it the dude who's sharing it? Is it everybody?
No, I mean everybody has a burden of responsibility.
Because it's fucking pissing off for the majority of the people who were going for their fucking summer vacations to have to come back and write a fucking paper. That's disgusting. Here's the thing. Like, a paper is not just how much effort you put in. It's also the fucking luck of what questions you get blah, blah.
So if there are people out there who are doing this again and you're feeling like totally disheartened, I'll just say one thing. I gave my SATs twice, okay? And the second time I nailed it. Because the first time I really did a shit job of it. And the reason I took it
your nerves will be far less.
But you had the option, like the people.
I had the option.
Exactly.
I had totally.
And that's an option in America. This is not an option
The
here.
reason I took it the second time was because I wasn't mentally prepared for what I was. I didn't know. I had to learn 5,000 words. Those words, and I knew maybe 500 of them. So I was like, you know what? I made a mistake. I need to go back and learn a base and soporific and what these actually mean. I did that. I learned those 5,000 words.
Because you have to recognize the fact that this is an important score. Like, no matter kitna bhi gali de hum log ko, the 11th and 12th is an important score for the rest of your. It's going to matter. Yeah. So you should be allowed. You shouldn't be judged on that one score based on that 3 hours of your life.
No,
for the rest of your life. You're understanding. You should have that chance to get back to that 3 hours.
How about this? First of all, let me say it's not for the rest of your life.
It's there. I'm still asked for my HSC mark sheet for stuff.
No, but
for
not
what?
just that.
Today?
Not just that.
Yeah.
No.
For what?
No, Karan. It's not just that, right? It's the reverberation of if you get shitty marks, you go to a shitty college, and then just consequent
there's a lot
little
of
shittiness.
And it's that 3 hours essentially. That 3 hours
That's
is
right.
defining what you're doing for the next 3 years.
And the other thing is, okay, so maybe one way to counter this is remove the stigma of failing. So for example, even if like you're 17 years old and you just passed your 10th but you did a good job, that's fine. That should be fine. Like there's a huge stigma of, arey, you didn't get in the first try. Fuck that, man. Just don't copy. Just give it the next year and do a better job.
You guys have been.
It's idealistic.
You guys have been to open houses even like 7th standard with your parents, right?
Yeah.
I don't know about your schools in Jamnabai. There used to be this roll of honor up front and center, and there are 300 students in my batch.
Yeah.
Only 10 names out there. Yeah. Every open house, I would stand there with my mother.
Yeah.
And my mother would look at the list and she'd look at me. Then she'd look at the list and I could see. And then next to us there'd be this bitch who's crying because she got 11th rank and she wasn't in the top 10. Like
but that hurts way more than if you're 59th. You know what I mean?
Listen, honestly, whether you're what
if you
listen,
believe
listen,
I'm with that person.
Listen, I was top 5 in my class of 50. But I was never top 10 out of 300. I was in the top 50, which means I was in the top 50 overall.
Right.
And it's fine, man. It's fine.
Of course it's fine. But like if you just miss it, it's way worse than if you miss it by a margin.
Listen, I'll tell you what, those people who were in the top 10, I don't know what the fuck they're doing with their lives anymore. Like, I don't know where they are. But nobody's like gone into the heights of like accomplishment and become like a Nobel prize-winning scientist, right?
Sure.
I'm just saying like that
So you didn't have a Funsuk Wangdo in your class. There was no Funsuk Wangdo. Karan,
there was a Hiren Patel because I went to a Bujuk school.
So you know what else has happened, by the way? So the police have approached Google.
Yeah.
Because they found one email, okay, where there was a photo of a handwritten the question paper, and it was sent by a Gmail ID. Okay, so now the cops are like, hey guys, hey Google, guys, 1 second, can we just, who's this? Can we just find out?
So you solve something unethical by doing something way more unethical.
Yeah, so your data, so basically it's going to be a little bit of a data leak. So,
yeah.
You know, but what the scary part of all of this is that because the systemic leaking of papers and all of that, like we know it got.
And this is the one that got caught.
Yeah. So what else is not?
Yeah.
And that tells me that when if there are kids out there who deserve a spot in those 10 seats at St. Joseph's, I don't know which is the most elite college anymore. But whatever it is, those 10 seats are taken, and 3 of those seats are taken by cheaters. That pisses me off. That there are 3 deserving kids who didn't get that spot.
Yeah, that, and also like the thing that bothers me is that there are problems. Like cheating is a symptom. That's not the disease.
Cheating is simply because the desire to come first and win and succeed is
Those
very,
are
very strong.
the disease. The disease
Yeah.
is that there's way too much competition. That the system is built around the fact that if you have marks, then you've done it, and not that if you know shit.
But I would say
because cheating will never make you know anything.
yeah, but then I
So
would
if you're
say
testing knowledge, then that's not the.
but then I'm
criteria.
at the other end of the spectrum are participation theory trophies.
Yeah.
You know where we're like, oh,
Everyone wins.
everybody wins, which means nobody wins.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's what I'm saying. So if you did if you made papers that were like, even if you leaked a paper that was based on understanding, people will still not score. You know what I mean? Because you had to fucking understand.
I think the
So you make a better system.
so instead of giving
Just make it secure. That's what you mean to
I
say.
think what needs to
No.
happen is, see, if a paper is leaked, you'll know what it is. But then the question is, like, let's say if it's a like a calculus thing, or like if it's an essay, writing an essay, for example,
Yeah.
you know,
That's
you-
that's
you-
subjective.
Yeah. So now, like in most universities, when you graduate, besides giving the exams, take the classes, you have to do a thesis.
Yeah.
And this happens for bachelors too. In other words, you have to take 4 years or 3 years of learning and put it together into one project and demonstrate what you've learned.
Yeah.
You cannot cheat on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing, and that the weightage on that. See, when we start telling people,
That's right.
get out of the classroom,
That's right.
and make something.
That's right.
So if you are if you're a CBSE student, you can come up with some sort of scientific project or some sort of literary project or something like that. You know, whatever it is. If we start moving towards those type of things, where we force kids
Practical application.
yeah, where we force kids to do things outside the classroom. Take what you learn in the classroom, do something outside the classroom. You are immediately setting a precedent where leaking of papers and stuff like that
Won't matter. Like
won't
even
matter.
it won't matter. That's the main thing. Like, and I think that's the thing, right? Like, I love the concept of like an open book test
Yeah.
because I fucking love that. Then
Have
you
you
just
ever
eliminate.
Have you ever had that?
I have,
I'll
and,
tell
it's,
you,
and it's still tough.
I'll never forget this one
fucking
professor.
tough.
One
Dude,
professor.
a law exam is so that's why I've not
No,
sat for my bar
इसका
yet.
level
And
देखा,
there's-
एक professor class में आता है and he tosses the fat book that we have on his desk. Says, okay, it's going to be an open book test. Then he gives us the exam sheets. Exam sheets are blank. He says you have to write your own question and then write your own answer.
What the fuck?
And yeah, dude. And I'm like, first of all, not
What?
it is a class called decision based system. So
You
ba-
sure what is your name, Karan? Okay.
Yeah.
Next.
But the grade was based on how difficult the question was and how good the answer to that question was, right? So it's
Okay.
50-50%. So
Nice.
So the difficulty.
That's fucking great.
तो book के end में जाके
And
देखो.
you know what
Do
this
you know what I
does?
did?
Last.
Do you know what I did? I dropped the class. I could not. It was too tough. It was too hard,
Fuck.
and I really put you in your place because I realized right then and then. And not only did I drop the class, I dropped that major.
One word of advice you'd like to give the people who have to give this exam again and are fucking frustrated.
I feel your pain.
You will get a higher grade now than you would have earlier.
Yeah, you're probably. But I think when you
Silver
write
lining.
an exam with a fuck it, because a lot of them will have a fuck it attitude.
Yeah.
You end up writing better. I've always felt you write better when you have a हाँ ठीक है चल लिख लेता हूँ अपन. Now it's that confidence.
Also, to the parents whose kids are taking the exam for a second time, come on. You gotta take them. I mean, I'm saying Barcelona
Yeah.
or
Oh.
Mahabaleshwar.
Make that vacation count, bitches.
बार्सिलोना जाएंगे महाबलेश्वर.
Also, here's my thing. You guys, at least you guys have a story. You have a fucking story. Like, you're going to do whatever in your life, but you'll always be like, dude, when I was in the 10th, this fucking thing happened.
So Abhishek is our social media manager for SnG, and he had his 10th exams, which was SSE mein social science 1, social science 2. So and all the schools get all the question papers. So they all kept sealed, whatnot, their level of protection is. One of the professors decided to get the social science 2 papers out for the social science 1 exams and distributed it to all the students.
Fuck.
मतलब heart attack पे heart attack.
So now
Yeah.
one entire classroom has the different,
Yeah.
and like one student goes, "Madam, ye aaj nahi hai." So it's just that.
And then 500 palms hit 500 faces.
But it's
Just
still a great
fuck.
story. It's still a great
It's a great story. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have that. Your fucking 10th is memorable. Just get through this, and then you can.
तो
keep-
सोचो टीचर की क्या
You know,
हालत हो रही होगी
also-
वैसे everybody is
And
like,
you know you have those bragging rights where you can tell the 9th standard ki, oh, you think you have it bad.
Even like my sister, when she had given a Marathi exam, and there was one note, she got passing marks, and one note, at least write one line in Marathi. Because my sister's funda was that मैं इधर जा रही आहे Marathi.
And on that note, that's all from this episode of The Big Question with SnG. Hope to see you next time. If you're giving the exams, we are sorry for you, but it's awesome. It's
and
fine.
if you're giving
It's
this exam
fine.
again, please don't watch this and study.
And please tell your parents and your friends, just ICSE kar lo yaar.
Yeah.
ICSE
More
kar
of the
lo.
story, ICSE is better.
ICSE. हाँ, लो.
Okay, see you. Bye.